So I had to go gluten-free. Well, it was kind of a last resort. I suffer from an autoimmune disease with psoriasis and psoriatic arthritis. And so after many years of different trials and errors, I finally decided to try gluten-free. And after 3 months of being very highly dedicated to that lifestyle, I had 95 to, I want to say 100% clearance because I don't suffer with it much unless I get some gluten in my system.
Time you have chronic issues and you figure out what to do and can manage those, and like you said, it's not curing, but it's like it helps. That's huge. So I'm so glad gluten-free has helped you. Our house, busy mom, 5 kids, dinner time is like the hardest, right? It's like I have to get on, and the struggle with being gluten-free is that you can't like just go pick up McDonald's or so I will totally keep gluten-free and non-gluten-free chicken nuggets in the freezer because they're expensive. So I eat the gluten-free ones. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I give the kids.
Mm-hmm.
I always keep frozen veggies in the freezer because I just like can steam them. I could throw them in the air fryer. The other thing I like to do is on Sundays, I make a big batch of rice.
Yep. It's a staple in my house.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Because then, especially for lunches, so my family's not a big stir fry person, but I am. So at lunch, when it's just me and Miriam, I always use, like, I'll just make up something quick. Eggs, I know these are expensive right now, but like a hard-boiled egg, and if you have those, then that's a snack so easy, or to like make a salad a meal. And everything I'm showing you guys today, these are not, most of it is not like gluten-free. It's just naturally gluten-free. But if someone was like, hey, I'm going to eat gluten-free next week, this is what I'd want you to go, like, make sure you had, so you can always eat something. Oatmeal. Do you have a favorite brand of oatmeal that you like to do for gluten-free?
So I don't eat much oatmeal. My kids do, but a lot of it is the instant kind, and that is not GF. So I don't buy it unless I'm going to make some sort of oat flour on my own. So if I make oat flour, I'll get Bob's Red Mill. I don't use Quaker. It's not. They say it is, but it's not.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Cheerios, right? Yes. Like we don't trust
Cheerios.
I know, who would have thought?
So controversial, but yes, Cheerios are not.
And
not
this is what I always love to have in my house. Do you know what I'm saying? Like a gluten-free soy sauce option.
The liquid aminos, perfect for soy sauce. Perfect.
Yeah. I do this when I can get, because this can cost a lot more sometimes, like just being real. Winco, but I got this for like $2.
I have that. Yep. I have that brand too, sitting in my fridge.
They taste the same to me, but my daughter says this one tastes more like regular soy sauce. Do you live off these? These are corn tortillas.
Yep. Oh yes.
So like Ryan can do everything with a corn tortilla. Yeah. Like when he first went gluten-free, he would cook these up like in oil and put them for hot dogs, and he'd be like, these are so good. Like, your face was amazing. You're like,
I don't know if I'd do that because honestly there are some okay GF, but when you're first trying, you don't know these things. You kind of grow into that. You grow into it. And so like you were saying earlier, the natural things, fruits, vegetables, rice, the grains that are not wheat, rye, or barley. So rice.
You know what? My new one I've been obsessed with is actually grits. Like I'll rinse them and
corn, right?
Make sure. Yeah, but it's good because I miss cream of wheat. I'm not gonna lie. So I think grits and shrimp is. But for us, we tend to just stick with corn because it's so much cheaper.
Yes, it is.
So like occasionally I'll get like a gluten-free wannabe wheat, and that's like a splurge. Like when it comes to like pre-made mixes, I do like to keep like a cake mix for like emergencies.
I just did this, Diane.
Yeah, no.
And I'm sad for you that you don't have an Aldi near you.
Oh my gosh, yes. Anyone watching, let me know if you have an Aldi because I'm instantly jealous. When we lived in Dallas, we did, and that was over 4 years ago. I'm sure their selection's even better. for like gluten-free stuff.
Oh, so good. Yes.
But
I like buy in bulk at the holiday season to get that stuffing. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I have, my mom has this apple bread stuffing that I mimic, and that's my favorite. But I go to Grocery Outlet, which is in random places, I don't know, all over the country. And like, I got this for $1.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Now I'm jealous.
Yeah. No, Grocery Outlet is the one place I buy. And this was $11, which sounds a lot for a pancake mix.
Yes.
But this is normally like 20.
A 3-pound bag?
Yeah.
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 Mm-hmm.
So I like to have a gluten-free pancake mix and a cake mix for my like mixes. Because I don't do a lot of pre-made stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this is like, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like it fits the spot so you don't feel as much. The other one would be gluten-free bread. I don't have any on hand because it costs so much. A lot of people know on my page, I do have a gluten-free bread machine recipe, which is like, that's what blew up my YouTube, because I did a live on Facebook, and then Ryan's like, let's put it on YouTube, and now it has like 120,000 views. Yeah, I know. From like 4 years ago. It's just because it's so, and I actually use the Pamela bread mix, but I add apple cider vinegar to the bread, and that's one of the main, it always comes out really good.
So I use the King Arthur brand for bread if I'm going to make a homemade bread, and just a stand mixer and put it in my loaf pan, and that's what I do for bread if I'm going to make it at home. But I do not do it very often. I don't eat a ton of bread, so you know it's good to have like for holidays and stuff.
So if you had 2 or 3 things that you really think make like being gluten-free easier, what would those be? And they could be Pampered Chef or not. It's whatever.
Okay. So with being GF, my cast iron and my stoneware is my go-to baking style things. But there is a caveat to that because they cannot be used for anything else other than gluten-free cooking because they will take in the gluten. Because that's how they get seasoned. You don't wash them with soap, so you can't get those gluten things off of it. So
I wash mine with soap. Don't tell anyone.
That could be our little secret.
Us and the internet.
My husband says, you're a rustic baker. And that is so true because I'm not like, oh, let's get this perfect and pretty and I can do all these flowers and things.
Yes.
No. Let me get my chopper out, and on top of that chocolate frosting, I'm going to chop up those pecans and I'm going to spread that all over that, you know?
Yeah, I'm definitely more a cook, and I like to cook how I'm feeling, which doesn't work as well with baking.
No.
But
gluten-free baking, you'll end up with something.
I know. Which is why.
Yes.
But do you have one of the cupcakes
by
you?
My gosh, I do, right here in front of me, and I've been like staring at it. I'm like, eventually I'm going to be able to eat this. There it is.
Yay!
I know. So, look how pretty that is.
This is the strawberry champagne cupcake. Those of you on my page know I shared. She saw it and remade it as a live on her Instagram. Yes. So make sure you're following Katie on Facebook or Instagram.
It is the epitome of what gluten-free cooking and baking is. So look, like you can enjoy, can I show this? It's going to break. Like, look, it's still gooey and moist and the way things should be when you're baking.
Yeah, and the trick with gluten-free baking is to put in a fruit or a carrot. Like or not a carrot, fruit or a veggie. So gluten-free, we do have to cook a lot more from scratch. So that it's a hard but good thing for us.
Yeah.
So what's one more thing that like helps you when you're, the kids are hungry and it's like time to eat,
Yeah, so of course it's my air fryer, and that is a wonderful thing for any family. Like I have 4 children and I'm a homeschool mom, but we have lots of extracurricular activities. So the air fryer is always out on my counter.
Mine's right there.
Yes. And really, I I can't pinpoint like what's my favorite or whatever, because there are
I'm
so
totally
many
putting
tools.
her on the spot,
Yeah.
guys. So just so you
Well,
know.
there's so many tools that just make cooking easier in general that, as far as gluten-free cooking, you just, like what I holler at my husband is don't use my cast iron with the kids' food, because the same idea as what you do. We have like chicken nuggets in there that, that have I actually have my own separate stone for their things. So my stuff doesn't get cooked on that. And if it's a family meal, I just make sure that it's not cross-contaminated with that. And everybody is different as far as cross-contamination goes. If you are celiac, it is way more serious. I don't want to minimize the cross-contamination, but it's kind of like an intolerance is a spectrum of things.
Yes.
So what I might be able to tolerate as far as maybe I have crumbs in my butter, someone else might not be able to have that.
It is very, but I hope this gives people hope too. Watching this, that it's not like you have to go get a whole new kitchen, or because almost everything else they've shown that soap and water removes enough gluten. There's a small percentage that maybe it won't, and you would find that out, but that's like very intense. And usually those people are very unhealthy at that point.
Yes.
And then as you heal, usually you can handle more. Now, I've been gluten-free for 6 years. I'm never going back either. So, but just know, like, you start small and just focus on the naturally gluten-free things.
Yes.
And it's not so hard. And I do have I was going to mention, I have a 5-day plan for gluten-free, like for your first 5 days gluten-free, bunch of meal plans. If you guys want that, just type meal plan. And I can send you a link so you can get that. It's got a whole bunch of recipes you choose from. And we'll see you guys all later.